Hello and welcome to the Wise Greenhouse. This is just a new channel I started to keep tabs on my own little hobby. These are nepenthes, various hybrids that I've got. They are from Carnivoro, from Austin, Texas, and then I have some which are from Predatory Plants, which are from Half Moon Bay. They're about 2 hours from me. Sadly, I cannot go in as they do not have openings, so I've just been ordering online. They're actually really nice. I'm trying to think. So this one is called the Vivid Machine, which is one of their staple, easy to grow ones. I purchased this one over here, which is also a Vivid Machine, and they sent me a free one with a purchase of a Sarracenia, if I said that right, I hope. Various pictures of size. This is also a nepenthes. It is a hybrid. Specific name is called Queen Melina, which is from Borneo Exotics, if I recall correctly. It doesn't even state what it is. One thing I'm finding really interesting about these plants is I just started this as a fun little hobby. This one's got a pitcher growing. The different types of leaves, the style. This one's got like a long stalk that comes down, flares out. As you can see on this one, on the other hand, it's got a nice little, almost orchid style. I believe this is a Lady Luck. Yes, Lady Luck. Binky is over there. Some of these plants I'm going to do with some experiments. I've got a little sensor here to check the humidity levels and temps. Most of these are highland and intermediate hybrids to my understanding. The plant itself can handle down to 35 degrees Fahrenheit and up to the hundreds. Now it can only do that in small bursts, so maybe 1 or 2 days, not a long amount of time. I haven't had any problems. My temperature doesn't say here, but the lowest I've gone down to is about 48, and that was with my original 3, which would be Jolly Sculptor. This nepenthes with no special name here. Jolly Sculptor and the original Vivid Machine. I now got the secondary Vivid Machine. I actually like the little coloring it has. Now, of these, my favorite would have to be this one, which is also, you can see it's got a little bit of candy striping going on inside. I just think it's very cute. It's red leaf. Style leaf also similar to this one. I don't know all the names and whatnot. I just find them interesting. I was trying to see if I could grow them outdoors, but initially I'm going to try to acclimate them here in this little greenhouse. I bought this on Amazon for like 70 bucks. I've got a sunshade that does about 50% light, which is fine. There's some tomato plants. There's a pineapple sage, collard greens, lemon balm. Let's see, another tomato plant. I mean, it's just a really cheap setup that's stacked up. There is another pineapple sage. This one's doing a lot better up here. And then there is the holy basil, which is just a plant I like to make pesto with. I just trimmed a whole bunch of it off. This thing gets a little frantic over time. I feel like I'm in a jungle here. If you don't like bugs, which I don't mind them, I have a couple other carnivorous plants. I'll probably show them off later. These help really well. You put one in a pitcher, depending on the size. If you can't fit it, orchid spray, maybe using that one little droplet in each. Took about 3 days for these to arrive from Austin, Texas, at least 7 of them. One of them is inside, and that one's name is Suki. Suki is the lowland variant. It cannot go below 50. Now, mind you, I'm in the 60s, but as I said, at nights it can get in the 40s. There's also frost warnings. So I try my best to keep these little plants nice and secure. I am outdoors. I covered the cement with a rubber mat. Tried my best to insulate. Humidity is nice. I had a portable humidifier that was doing okay until it started to fill itself up at the tips, so it could not spray. But it created a nice fog effect. These plants like a lot of humidity. It's what they use to create these little cute pictures. I just think they're neat. I'm not a specialist in any shape or form. This is, again, just a hobby setup that I'm going to try to document. I might be expanding down here. For now, I use this as a water tray to lift and, accumulate more water in here. The tray down here also has water. Simply get one of these, you snip the sides, you put it in. It was pretty simple. I was keeping one inside when I acclimate. Now, if you get these initially, you unbox them, keep them out of the way in a nice non-shady area, or non-bright area, more shade than not. They don't like a lot of direct light, I found. But when you first get them, think of them being in kind of like a shock. When you bring these out of a box, they're bright light. It's like coming out of a dark room into a bright room. It kind of blinds them. It's not healthy for them. You want to do good, so you try really hard. This is one I'm specifically hoping does really well. I saw the adult form, and they're huge. Mind you, these plants, you'll see them, they're really cute little, kind of like carnivorous orchids almost, will grow to 5 to 10 years. And in that time, they get bigger. And as you can see how this one is specifically, it is a vine growing plant. It splits off into a new leaf, splits off into a new leaf. And each of these leaves develop a pitcher. This is how the plant has developed to make up for lack of nutrients. You want very distilled water. Arrow works. There's a zero water filter if you cannot find distilled because of the COVID craze. Distilled water is very hard to find. Just a concept you can go with. All the waters in here are filled with basically distilled or zero water filter. I have a TDS meter. Don't know what it is. It's total dissolved solids within the water. The water is down to, I believe, 0.006 on my meter. Now, if you've never seen one of these before, some of you probably are better at this than me. It already has some bugs in there. I just recently got these acclimated to out here. They've been in bags. As you can see, nice little box. Carnivorous plant stuff. Do not use regular soil. You want acidic, but this type of plant, pottery soil, is not for nepenthes. That's more like your Venus flytrap, Sarracenia, sundews. When you're growing nepenthes, you want, if I can get this right, sphagnum moss from New Zealand. Now this is a Zoom Med one I was trying. I also got an orchid brand. I mix it between two. When you buy from Predatory Plants, they actually use it as a packaging. They give you some free little cups so you can pop them in. Very simple. What I did is I wrapped the pre-sphagnum mossed little nepenthes, as you can see. They were like a core, little stake. I broke up the core as best I could in water. I didn't want to disturb the roots too much. Using killing water, you can let it soak, pull them out, wrap them like a baby up, curve it around them, and then you slowly just insert them into these little cups. Now every time you want to go up a cup, you double. Always go two. At least that's what I did for this one. And it's been doing pretty well. Now as the pitchers get older, they will die. I know it's sad to have this concept, but it is true. Every time it pitchers a new pitcher, they will get bigger. As you can see, the size difference between these two, it just keeps growing. Now, depending on the species, they will either be squat, fat, wide, whatnot. So overall, these are fun little plants. I'm just going to do this so I can log how they grow and, how I expand. Thanks for watching. Hope this gave some insight.